Hello and welcome to my OTSL game versus Jeremy Anders, who I will be facing as the USA in the last, probably last, game of our best of 3 series in OTSL. Okay, this is dangerous for my Europe presence. It's still dependent on the result of his Queen Italy. This hand is really poor, so I expect to not care about blockade. I think I will just play the goal to put 3 into France and then play East European unrest whenever necessary. Whoa! Okay, I guess that's just another reason to not care about blockade. Alright, thank God for this one. The situation is still pretty dire, but the fact that he failed this coup is really making it a bit easier. Oh man, so many wars. Feudal is basically a free card. I want to play him before the Defcon is dropped or as it is dropped. I don't understand why he went for Iran like this. I'm trying to figure out what he has in hand, but I just don't get this play, especially after Middle East headline. I'm tempted to just event Korean War right now, but I feel like that's incorrect. Maybe I just take Iran and Pakistan? Let's try this. Okay, now the response is obvious. If he wants to take Pakistan with China, then I will allow it, because I don't really have much choice. I'm not letting him take France with another 4-up if he has one. Asia for 0, that's okay. I will still go for the Korean War. God damn it. And I will try to take it regardless. As long as Truman is in the deck, I don't feel the need to take France immediately. Event reasonable. Then I will take Korea. Looks like his hand wasn't that scary after all. We were both weak. I got scared after seeing nuclear test ban and socialist, but since he failed the role in Iran, it's not even that bad. So the situation is pretty equal. And 2 scorings are gone already, so it kind of looks like the most important factor to look out for now is who gets the access cards. Now, I could give him Arab-Israeli war now by taking Egypt. However, it's kind of silly to still focus on the scored regions, and I want to coup. So if he went for West Germany, I will put some more ops into Europe. And if West Germany remains open, that's more beneficial for my Truman play if it comes to pass in the early war. I'm kind of scared of Suez Crisis, not gonna lie, but with my presence in Iran it's not as bad as it could have been. So one of the failures of my first turn, I would say, is that I didn't exit Israel yet, and I'm not gonna do that this turn. So it's kind of scary, especially like what would be tragic for me is if he could Iran and succeeded, and then I could Iran back with Fidel and failed. That would have been terrible. That would be terrible if it happens, but it doesn't look like he has the ability to do so. Okay, this is really interesting. He may have Truman in his hand, or he's taking a risk. However, this is just generally a good play because he knows I have to coup now. I will do that anyway. Okay, that's a nice roll. I will take that. So now I'm not worried about Middle Eastern presence at all. Okay, a bunch of interesting cards. Really, really, really interesting. That's a very solid hand. It's basically as solid as it gets without Purge, Decal and Distal, so I would say I don't have the three most important cards, but I have the rest of those. Defectors are great against any of the three I mentioned. Marshall is good if he has NATO or Special, and also it protects France against being taken by a 4-up. And 5-year plan is good, and I will event it probably, but I don't think I will do it now. I will just start with Marshall, because he may be expecting defectors, so he may go for something like Europe. And I prefer to play Marshall in that case, and also, as I said, Special and NATO are out there, and both of those cards become a bigger threat to my opponent if Marshall is in play. Oh, god damn it. That was definitely worth defecting. RIP. Okay, so now I'm expecting him to coup, either with duck and cover or not. He may also go for the CAA if he's a bit greedy. I mean, maybe that's actually then the safe play. It's not a greedy play, but it's a different type of risk. If he has the CIA, then giving it to me now risks Thailand, and not giving it to me risks DEFCON problems in some unlikely scenarios. So he has to pick his poison. I could try holding defectors, but defectors held until turn 3 are not as effective as they tend to be. So I will probably just keep Arab-Israeli or Suez Crisis and... damn it. Yeah. And space the other one. Okay, this is really unfortunate. It's good that I got a 6 in Iraq earlier, so the damage is kind of mitigated. I know he doesn't have 5-year plan, so if he has Europe, he's gonna give it up. So I could do something like this. He of course takes Thailand in this scenario. What if he has the CIA? Then he just takes Thailand with the CIA and I have 2 moves in a row. How do I use them? I could go for Colombia, but that's probably silly. I probably coup Iran and then use a free up to spread. Or maybe I take Lebanon and then coup Iran. It's all risky. Also taking France is bad if he has Truman. And 5-year plan could get me Truman. Ah, sure, I will do that. He doesn't necessarily have Truman, and he still, even if he has Truman, even if he does have Truman, then still securing 5 VPs from Europe domination is my priority. Alright, he is special. I will gladly overprotect France. And now I will coup Iran. Not a great roll. Let's see what happens next. Now, if he has any access cards like Decal or Distal now, it could be a good moment to use those. I'm still really reluctant to use 5-year plan because that could kill me and Europe could be tragic. So he doesn't necessarily need to hurry with that because of the 5-year plan, but it just looks like now it's, yeah, now is a good moment to change them up. I will take Lebanon. I will take Iraq. And I will at least enter India. And I guess I will do that with NORAD. Well, let's hope he at least doesn't have Distal. And I guess I could hold Suez Crisis also as a potential blockade fuel. Use Arab-Israeli to take Egypt, and then play defectors and 5-year plan. I guess that's the way to go. Oh, come on. Okay, this is really unfortunate. I was going to take Egypt anyway, so I can just as well do it now. It also looks like he doesn't have Europe, which sucks a lot. This map is really alive. There are a lot of contested places, not even close to have enough ops to do all the things I would like to do. Of course the same goes for him. Algeria open, Libya open, India open, Pakistan kind of open for him at least. Panama and Colombia still remaining interesting options for as long as Venezuela is not captured by him. Burma waiting for me to enter it to threaten Laos. Yeah, it's reasonable. It looks like there is a need to use some more drastic measures to fill all those countries. I will just play defectors first. I prefer to have a stronger card. Yeah, left for my last move. Fortunately, he did actually have Europe. It's possible that he was actually waiting for me to possibly use the 5-year plan. However, I was too scared of duck and cover to even think about that, and also too busy doing other things. I could go for something like this, because now I don't have to overprotect Pakistan, and none of the cards that are left guarantee him breaking my Asia domination, so if I redraw Asia I may just drop it in the headline and hope that it's enough. It's a weird play. I'm not sure if I like it. Sure, let's try it. Perch? Can I get Perch, please? I can! I got Perch and Duck, and he got CIA, okay. He also got NATO. But that's fine. That's a small price for the cards I got. He got UN with the CIA, first of all, and second of all, he also got Arab-Israeli war, so it's actually really tricky. Defectors are kind of a safe headline here. He doesn't know about them, so I think defectors would catch either Nasser, which is not a big deal, or in the Pakistani war, which is potentially a huge deal depending on whether it hits. The other option is of course to play duck and cover. Duck and cover... How good is duck and cover? Duck and cover is not bad at all. It's not bad at all. The problem with duck and cover is that he will get to have mill-ups because in the Pakistani war. So I could defect in the Pakistani war, and then... Well, then he probably doesn't give me the CIA, then he coups Panama, and then I guess I use the 5-year plan. Because, so the thing with the 5-year plan is that if it hits the CIA, it sucks, sure. But if it hits anything else but the CIA, he has to skip one turn. And if it hits the UN, he's dead. So, the choice is basically between duck and cover and him getting in the Pakistani war, or defectors and him not getting it. Unless he headlines Nasser. In which case, well... Okay, so he doesn't know about defectors, and he knows about the duck and cover, right? So I think just because of that I will go for defectors. Yeah, that was to be expected. It was it was not a risk I was willing to take. I will try to hold Purge, I guess. Spacing Suez is fine, and playing all the other cards is not a problem. Now I expect him to coup Panama with something... Oh! Really? He takes Zaire? Holy... Okay, I have to admit, I didn't see that coming. I absolutely didn't assume that would happen. Interesting. Alright. Now 5-year plan still looks really, really good. Okay, so I have two moves. Which means I could take Panama first and then coup Brazil with US Japan. If I want to go for a South America presence. Or I could coup Nigeria and then use ops to do whatever. Okay, so queuing with anything but the CIA is probably better because it grants me milops. So... and he doesn't have his because I defected the Indo-Pakistani war. So I will just go to Algeria with the CIA and I will use the US Japan to coup Brazil. That's unfortunate. Well, it's... yeah, it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. God damn it. I expect him to just use NATO to take that back, and I'm afraid I cannot do anything about this. The only good thing is that if he uses NATO to take that, I will just take Algeria, even if he enters it. And he doesn't even do that. How good is the 5-year plan? If it hits blockade, it's bad. If it hits UN, it's decent. If it hits NORAD, it's decent. If it hits Nasser, it's whatever. If it hits Cambridge, it's okay. It's basically okay if I don't hit blockade, which is like 80%. And I have enough ops to do the things I need to do. How much does it suck if he takes Algeria? It kind of does. Okay, then I guess I will start with giving up the Warsaw Pact and I will take Algeria, Panama and probably enter Mexico. I cannot really bait him into Algeria and then threaten with realignments because in this case he's the one that needs milops, not me, so I will have to be a little bit more careful than the US player tends to be in this type of scenarios, which are usually reversed in the early war. Cambridge, okay. Interesting move. UN, okay. So he has 2 1-ups and NORAD. So now entering Uruguay is actually not that stupid. Of course it gives him an opportunity to get milops, but if he coups Uruguay in response to me entering it, first of all he still risks losing Argentina, and second of all he most likely gives me NORAD, which is of course good. So I'm really interested what he's going to do now. And he has to like make a decision because he basically has 2 red cards that he would prefer to event. Maybe blockade not so much, but Nasser probably is, and those are both 1-ups, and he has NORAD, which is a blue card. Okay, that was a reasonable play. I would expect something like that. So now he could take Uruguay with blockade if I enter it. That's probably good enough play. I think I still may go for Uruguay. I think I will still go for Uruguay. I will, because if he coups it with blockade now, then he risks Argentina. If he uses NORAD, then I get NORAD. And if he just takes Argentina with blockade, then I can break Argentina with duck and cover and see what happens there. So my goal for this turn, I guess, is to at least get NORAD from him. And if I could get... Okay, I'm getting NORAD. Ooh. That's absolutely what I was counting for, yes. Yeah, so, okay, so this is basically the scenario I was counting for when I was entering Uruguay. However, admittedly, it's really lucky. It wasn't probable, but I thought that he would either use NORAD to secure Argentina or use blockade to do that, or if he would coup Uruguay, he would probably do it with blockade. But basically the best possible scenario happened. Now, I was going to space Suez, but plans have changed. Unless I just use Purge. I could just use Purge. Actually. Take Canada. Something like that. I really like Purge as the USA in the midwar. Do I go for the China card? I really dislike this idea. I need to... Okay, I don't think I'm using the China card. And Suez really sucks because my control of the UK is also important. I could just ignore everything and space Suez, but I don't think that's responsible. Because if he successfully coups Argentina... Well, but under Purge the chances for that are not that huge. Oh man, I really want to just space Suez. I don't feel like that's correct though. I'm gonna do it. Don't do it at home. Don't do it at home. I don't think this was responsible, but I really wanted to do that. This was one of the rare moments that I felt like... Like, I feel like I would like to play that move. For example, during an international match, in like a World Cup or something like that, when you can talk to other people from your team. I feel like I could benefit from discussing this move live with other good players. Okay, Allende and Gunman are cringe. However, Assault is good. And we have the China card. This is such a weird hand. It's probably good. It's okay, it's surely good. It surely is good. It's just... What the hell do you even do with this? Okay, so my plan would be to play the China card, use Salt for event, probably play the card that I pick up immediately, and hold 3 cards, which is like Kennedy, Gunman, and Allende. Or Liberation instead of Gunman, if I play Gunman after Salt, or something like that. But I can also space Liberation. Purge is a good headline, but Colonials are great too. I don't need to worry about Missile Envy. It's between Purge and Colonials. And I don't know about Decol. If I knew where's Decol, that would be easier. Okay, let's go for Colonials, I think. If I'm going to play the China card, then maybe I can play around with Thailand. Oh man. Junta is probably the best headline he could have played. Let's see. Oh man. This is really tough. This is really fucking tough. I guess that's a card that I can pick up with Salt, at least. Let's see if he has a 4-up. Maybe he doesn't have a 4-up, in which case it's not obvious what his move is. Maybe even with a 4-up it's questionable. Oh my god. Okay, he had it. RIP. So he can just fix everything. Well, the fact that he has all the low stability battlegrounds in Africa at least means that improving the DEFCON will not be necessarily to his benefit. I don't think I'm gonna bother taking Uruguay. It's kind of important, but I feel like taking Chile is more so. Of course I'm doing it with Purge, because Missile Envy is still around. Maybe I should have started with the China card actually. I feel like that was a more reasonable play, because it doesn't look like I will be able to use the China card in Asia anyway. Well, unless I still may be able to coup Thailand with China after Salt if he doesn't lower the DEFCON immediately, which is possible. So maybe that was a good play actually. Yeah, maybe it was a good play. And after NORAD I can still put another point into Thailand and retake Thailand with China. I guess it's not that unreasonable after all. I'm not sure what I should do if he takes Peru. Like if he plays a 3-up and puts 2 into Peru and 1 into Chile. I think I will just allow that. I think I'm still just gonna Salt and see what happens. In the worst case scenario, if he succeeds, I guess I will at least be able to take some value out of queuing Thailand with China, or at least playing around African battlegrounds. And if I pick up Junta with Salt... Oh! Okay, that was a painful scoring, but it could have been way worse. Well, regardless of that, I think I'm still playing Salt now. It's just unclear what I want to take. Colonials are now looking almost as tempting as Junta. Purge looks good too. I could I could pick Purge up again and headline it next turn. Maybe that's some kind of a play. But I'm not looking for cards to hold, not really. So if I want to play it this turn, it's basically Colonials versus Junta. Or versus Purge, but played this turn. So if that's the choice I'm facing, I think I will just pick up Colonials again. And never scurrying. Okay, so here is the opportunity I was talking about. Meaning, of course, queuing Thailand. Okay, so 5 is enough, but 4 is actually enough too, because NORAD. Oh no, because... Okay, that's not necessarily true, because NORAD is not being activated this turn. I think it's still worth trying. Oh. That was the only scenario in which he's not even forced to react, so that sucks. I guess he will... Well, so he cannot really coup now, can he? Because now NORAD will actually give me Thailand. So this is really tricky business. Unless he has Quag, then he can Quag me, and regardless of my role, he can just continue with a coup, and Thailand is relatively safe. So it's really interesting to me which path he's going to take. Okay, he just goes. Interesting. Oh, come on. This is unreasonable. Is Thailand the best I can get? I could just flip an African battleground with this. Is it better than Thailand, though? What if I do something like this? Or what if I do something like this? Well, then a free up is enough to retake all of it. But he needs to have a free up. Well, but then again, I could just take Thailand and then do that. After I take Thailand. So maybe I don't need to... Maybe I can just take Thailand. What are the chances of me retaking... Because Thailand is like... has a stable value. Well, okay, not really. It doesn't, because honestly Thailand may be a game changer in Asia in the long run. It's vulnerable to brush, but so is Panama anyway, so I kinda don't care. This game is like surprisingly hard. There are so many decisions to make. Let's hope that he doesn't have Missile Envy. Because now it would hurt. Alright, he overprotects only those two, which looks like a weakness. So I will break Angola, break that too. Break that too, I guess. And take this. Let's see if he can respond to that. Okay, at least I forced him to use OPEC for this purpose, which is something. Now, I would love to play our man in Tehran. Just don't feel like I will be able to. Okay, you know what? Let's start with spacing liberation now. Because I want to do it either way. And then let's see what he does, and then I can decide whether I want to play our man in Tehran for event or not. Portuguese. Well. So, what are the obvious places I want to put ups into? Thailand, probably. Chile. Realignments in Central look good. Yeah, that's about it. Pakistan, Israel, maybe Saudi, probably not though. Some non-battlegrounds. What are the best cards I could throw out with our man in Tehran? Central, scoring, Africa scoring, Quag. Those three look like great targets. Most of those cards are decent though. There's additional value from using our man in Tehran because I'm gonna draw more cards with Kennedy, so I can kind of filter them. Okay, I don't feel like I need to risk. I think the most reasonable play is to just overprotect Thailand and put another point into Chile. As much as I would like to event our man in Tehran, I don't think that's reasonable. I'm really scared of Missile Envy when I look at this hand. I really wanna use ABM to proc Norad twice, but I'm really scared of Missile Envy. I'm not getting Missile Envied. I'm not getting Missile Envied. Not with this hand, not like that. I do not allow that to happen. Absolutely not. If We Will Bury You wasn't on the discard pile, I would probably just go for Kennedy. But since he knows that Missile Envy is free and safe, I will not be trolling this game by giving him a free ABM use. That's not a part of my plan. U2 is worth 1 VP always, and Che could be relatively cheap. It could be even free if he could me out of Uruguay. Let's see how that goes. I doubt he will do that. It doesn't look like this turn is about to get us to coup Uruguay. I don't think that's gonna happen. Also, if he has Quack, then Che is probably the best discard in this hand. Muslim Ref. Ooh, that's nasty. Then probably cooing Iran has more merit to it than it did earlier. Okay, so now it looks like I'm throwing out Middle East with Kennedy. But it still doesn't necessarily mean I don't want to coup Iran. Okay, I think it kind of does actually. I think I have to coup Zaire. I think I have to coup Zaire and then throw out the Middle East with Kennedy. I think this is actually the way to go. Ugh. Painful Muslim ref, painful. I could take Laos with Norad if he just coups. However, Argentina and Brazil are still good targets. Independent Reds. He does just coup. Well. Okay, so I kinda need to take Algeria. And I have only 3 ops at my disposal, so I think this looks like a pretty clear scenario. I'm breaking Laos and using shuttle to take Laos and Algeria. It just looks like it. If he has a brushword to take away my Zaire, then I guess he's free to try. I don't feel like I can reliably do much about it. Of course, taking Cameroon and Zimbabwe is possible, but with... I don't have enough ops. It's not that my ops are terrible, they are clearly not as bad as they could have been, but this game constantly throws more and more countries at us where we need to invest, but we never have enough resources to do that. Oh man, this is annoying. I could take Egypt back. Nasser is discarded, Sadat is nowhere to be found. I could enter Egypt with at least 1 VP. I could also coup Botswana. How good is Queen Botswana? It's gonna really suck a lot if I coup Botswana and fail. It's gonna be terrible. So maybe I won't do that actually, if that's gonna be so terrible if it happens. Okay, what about I just take Chile, take South Africa, overprotect Pakistan? Or take Africa, Chile and enter Egypt? Or take Uruguay? Man! So many places. Uruguay gives him a great secondary target after realignments in South Africa work, if they do. But if he doesn't succeed in South Africa, or he does, but he doesn't have realignments left, then I can grab Argentina, or at least realign it, and I have 10,000 good targets in Central. Oh man, this is really complicated. Okay, I feel like I should prioritize realigning Central over Argentina anyway, and Argentina can be taken with NORAD with some luck, so I think I will just go for this. Because there are still 2 cards that really encourage him to play the China card, which is Nixon and cultural. They are both in the deck or in his hand. So it looks like he may be just looking for an opportunity to play the China card, and if he decides to do that, I would prefer him to start an ops war in South Korea instead of just grabbing Pakistan for free and leaving India very vulnerable to Indo-Pakistani wars in the future. So I think this is the best I can do. I think a lot depends on the realignment roles at this point. I guess you two can stay. Actually, kitchen debates are active, right? It's like really close. Oh, I think they are not. Wait, they are. No, wait. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm so bad at maths. So it's +3, +2, +4, plus... Oh, it's equal. It's just equal. Oh, so it's they are not. If he plays them now, they are not. Well, what I was thinking about it because I realized that I don't think I have seen a single middleware blue one-up for CIA and Truman, but those are not the middleware ones. So he still may have OAS, Panama, Kitchen, Sadat, and all those cards are kind of annoying for him, except for the kitchen debates. That's why I started counting, and unfortunately they are not active yet. We'll change that soon, hopefully. Yep. Hello. Okay, that's reasonable. It screams that he has Central, but there's just nothing I can do about it, so I will just get rid of all the nasty cards. What can I get from Missile? Can I get Duck and Cover? No, because it was played on turn 3. So I cannot die. Unless I get Olympic Games, but... Well, oh yeah, actually, unless I get Olympic Games, period. That's not even... That's absolutely a thing that could happen. And Nixon was something I would expect him to have after he played the China card, but he might just be weak, or he may be willing to event cultural for some reason, so this is just a solid card that I'm not even sure if I will event or not yet. Really? Okay, maybe he actually doesn't... Okay, maybe he actually doesn't have Central, because if he had it, he would have scored it now. This means that his hand is just sadly weak. So, okay, so my prediction is that he has some nasty events, like Panama Canal. He may have OAS too. And it's... I think he has like Grain or Voice, but he's really scared of spacing them because he's afraid of one small step. So I think he has like... I would say he has OAS, Grain, and he doesn't have one small step or something like that. In this case, playing Missile Envy is probably not good. He may just as well have only 1 and 2 ops, including Olympic Games, by the way. Whoa, wait, no, I have the Olympic Games. Wait, so... Okay, wait. My brain lagged for no reason. Okay, so... Maybe this is not that bad then. Maybe I can just play Missile Envy. Okay, let's play Missile Envy then. If I can't die, then Missile Envy is not bad. I was really worried about getting Olympic Games, which I'm currently holding. Bear trap. Alright. That's fine, actually. Well, okay, it's not really good, but... At least he's discarding Bear Trap, he's discarding Missile Envy to Bear Trap instead of something else. Bear Trap is not always really bad for the USSR. Okay, that's a great roll. I'm glad about it. Come David. Okay, that's fortunate. Now I don't really need to take Egypt because Sadat is still out there. I guess let's start with realigning with Nixon. That's nice. Argentina is a target, but... So there's one target that's Argentina, and that's basically a 50-50. And in this case, like, if I fail, it's also bad, because I lose NORAD influence. But I have one in Venezuela and Brazil regardless, so I think I will give it a try. Oh yes, that's nice. That was I think that was a reasonable risk to take, and I'm glad it paid off. Wait, really? He had one small step. Wait, why didn't he space anything then? Like... He went... Okay, this China play looks pretty weird now. He didn't have Central, he just decided to use China to secure Central non-battlegrounds. Interesting. Okay. Now... I could just do that. How reasonable is this? I don't think it's very reasonable. Liberation is gone, I had it earlier. But I could just set up something here in Africa, along with realignments of Nigeria. And now Uruguay and Mexico are both great targets. I think Uruguay may even be better. Going to Mexico grants him a good coup target. But it's... grants him a decent coup target. Grants him a target that he can coup and then score Central. That's basically what he can do if I enter Mexico. Do I care? Well, he won't have ABM. So I would have time to respond, and Guatemala lets me realign him out of there possibly. So I guess this is good enough. Let's try it. Okay. Brush War. That's good. OAS. That's not very good, but that's tolerable. Cultural is sus. Quagmire. Okay, so I think we're playing China and Cultural, and we're holding Quag and Socialist until after the reshuffle, and this way we can have a very solid turn now, and turn 7 will be probably slightly worse, but it's fine because Quag will not return anymore, and Socialists too. This looks reasonable. Okay, nuclear subs are possibly good, but I will not start with them, I think. What am I expecting? Tikol is really strong. Tikol would be huge for him. Brezhnev, obviously, always good. And that's basically it. He can have Tikol or Brezhnev when it comes to good headlines. Or maybe Willy Brandt into Europe scoring. So if I headline nuclear subs, Willy Brandt into Europe scoring is good for him, obviously, because he doesn't want to lower the DEFCON anyway. Now, He could have flower power, but that doesn't really matter to me at all. I am still gonna brush with something. I'm not spacing brush. If I were to brush, I would probably go for Angola. But I could achieve that with nuclear subs. There's also arms race. And there is central scoring. I could open with OAS. And go for like Cuba, I don't know, Venezuela. Or even, yeah, probably Cuba, Venezuela. And that way, after he coups something, I could just use NORAD to take Mexico and score central domination. But then my African situation gets worse. Am I willing to pay that price? Okay, so the question is, can I get central domination if I don't start with OAS? The answer is, it probably depends on the roles in the non-battlegrounds, but not reliably so. Maybe I just start with nuclear subs. OAS is a good play for my AR-7 in South America. Man, what are the chances he has Africa scoring? Basically 50-50. A little bit less than that, like 40%. The only scoring he may headline is Europe. If he doesn't have Willy Brandt. I think if he has Willy Brandt, he's probably headlining Willy Brandt. So I will assume he does that. Okay, I think going for OAS is fine. Oh wait, I completely forgot about this. My bad. Oh, yeah, let's break this, and let's break this too. Wait, why did I forget about this? Never mind, I just missed this scoring. Well, doesn't change much. If I knew about it, I would have done the same thing. I wasn't going to play the China card in the Southeast Asia anyway. Oh, he went really the safe road there. Now, 3 options. Mexico and scoring central, or Uruguay and realignments in Nigeria and Argentina, or Venezuela and retaking Venezuela. Honestly, screw it. I will take 4 VPs from Central as the USA, absolutely. I think I'm in a fine position in this game. I'm not necessarily prone to taking unnecessary risks at this point, and I absolutely don't think that waiting with central scoring is necessary. I think the play with OAS with the intention of breaking Cuba and scoring central was absolutely a worthwhile endeavor, and I will finalize it. Alright. This looks really solid now. Summit. Oh, 6. Alright, so the interesting part about this play is that South America is still open. But, okay, so if he has Africa, I think I should just brush Angola at some point. And the best time to do that is, of course, now. However, if I succeed, because it immediately defends me both from realignments and it prevents him from scoring Africa right now. for free. But if I fail... Well, if I fail, he still needs to choose between realignments and stabilizing South America. And I think that's fine. I will try it now. Ooh, that's really painful for him. That was a significant win. Angola stays mine forever, so I'm not playing nuclear subs this turn. Africa looks kind of lost for the USSR at this point, so he may try queuing like Saharan states and so on, and this may even like lead him to equalizing in the long run. I do not mind this match. I will try to poke him. It seems that I have the ops advantage this turn, which is really nice. I will try to remain dominant in the Africa region, and at the same time I will keep piling ops into Venezuela. Alright, those are pretty solid rolls. Now one here is not enough, I would have to take Tunisia too, so if that's the case anyway, then I will just coup Saharan states. Well, that's unfortunately not a success, so I guess he will drop Africa now. He keeps facing choices, and he keeps choosing everything but South America. Which is of course not weird, it's understandable. I will take those. I will also overprotect Venezuela, I think. However, that's not necessarily needed, because he looks weak. He just looks weak. Honestly, actually I will just do that. Will I? Do I want to put another... Okay, you know what, sure. Let's put another one into Cuba. If I get central control, that's even better. That will be another win condition. Of course, Cuba is risky, as the USA, always. But in this case, actually holding Quagmire is a potential lifeline that may save me in a really unlucky scenario with Ortega and Gunman. Sadat. Where do we realign? That was a reasonable try, and it's really unlucky for him that it didn't work. Now I guess I have to... No, not do that. Realign. Brazil first. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, the luck really swung my way at this point of the game. Yeah, it is. It is that. It is what he said about it. It's true. He probably breaks the UK. However, that doesn't change much. I will just take Brazil and Argentina, and that's it. Okay, so he got Europe, I got Decal, Brezhnev, he got Flower Power, I got Willy Brandt, he got Usuri, I got East European, he got Alliance, I got Voice, he got Puppets, and he got Grain, I got Formosan, and he got Kitchen. Okay. I redrew Arab-Israeli War, and he redrew 2 cards that are unknown to me. So Europe will be scored. I don't see a way for him to convincingly get a draw there. Voice is not necessarily... Wait, Voice is not bad. Voice just flips the Middle East back, which is probably what I will do. I will just take Iran and Libya out of it. if everything goes well. I don't see a good headline for him. He may have something that I can't anticipate. Maybe he will just go for Europe. Oh, that's something I did. Okay, that's absolutely something I did not anticipate. Okay. I guess I'm giving him East European unrest, actually. I'm not giving him socialist, and I'm not giving him Brezhnev, and I'm not giving him Quag, that's for sure. So, I guess I will still do that, and yeah, here you go. Your 2 turns in a row, good sir. Shit. That's painful. And like even if I knew that, it's not like I could do anything about it. I guess no, that doesn't work too. Yeah, I think there is no good play against Missile Envy with this hand, unfortunately. Yep. This is right. Let's hope that my queen I run works. Nope. Well, Truman is still out there. Do I need to activate kitchen? No, it works really well. So I guess I will just pile my ops in Cuba. I will just keep throwing things down there. Both of us will try to space twice this turn. This is absolutely undisputable. Okay, this is fine for me. Okay, let's try getting my domination in Africa back. Spaces. Then I have to respond by spacing myself. We both succeeded, so none of us will space twice. Okay. So now the question is, will he use the China card this turn? He has Yusuri River Skirmish in his hand, which is a bad event, but it's not as bad as Alliance for Progress, for example. So he may be willing to go for that. He had that too. That's a redraw. I didn't know that one. So his hand really was blue as hell. I probably don't need more in Asia, but there's also no point in going for more in Africa. So let's just say I do something like that. Or let's say I do something like that actually. And what's the last one? Ah yeah, here. Now I know his hand, so I'm relatively sure he will give me puppets, unless he gives me China, which of course would be the dream. Wait, no, he has to give me the China card. I will surely get the China card, that's good. Okay, so I'm not losing to DEFCON. Probably. Maybe. Like, I could still technically lose to DEFCON, but now it looks silly. And even Ortega isn't that bad at this point, because I can realign myself from Cuba. So I kind of don't care anymore. He has to crew something. He did that because he wanted to enter Iraq before he gives me puppets, but that's not a problem. Let's get domination in the Middle East, I guess. Okay. None of us has Middle East scoring, so I don't care. I will give him socialists now. And just repair. I will normally probably try quick Nicaragua or Haiti, but at this point I'm so dominant in this game on the map that I don't think I even want to touch that. I think the most reasonable thing for me to do is just keep grabbing the unoccupied non-battlegrounds, since I can just do that. And I want to have the opportunity to realign myself out of Cuba with great probability when Ortega comes. Sure, let's just quit. No problem with that. Yeah, and probably I'm getting the China card now. Yeah. Get this. Take that, take that. Okay, that's a pretty solid hand. It has UN, which I will probably try to keep. 5-year plan is always kinda risky. ABM would be well used if I could proc NORAD twice and Missile Envy is not here. I guess I will go for our man in Tehran then. Uh-oh. Venezuela, probably? Depends on his potential scorings, I guess. Panama, that says a lot. Well... Actually, Summit is not bad, let's get rid of this. I don't even know if I should get rid of this, but... let's say. Okay, so now if he has central scoring, he's free to score it. And if not, then... Okay, he's really committed to central. Sure, let's try to fight back. Unsuccessfully so. Yeah, to be expected. Okay, let's space Quagmire. good. Yeah. You may have that. Well, Muslim is still in the deck, so I will not play around Middle East too much. Let's give it a try. Now the map is kind of closed, so... Right, let's give him the Suez Cry. Okay, I will wait with that because he may have the American debt crisis, which I would like to avoid if possible. And that looks like he may have it. Now when I think about it, even if he plays it, I'm not sure if I wanna discard Suez. I'm kind of paranoid right now. I feel like I should... Okay, he doesn't have it. I feel like I really should keep the UN intervention close to my chest. Suez for you. And just repair. Junta good, North Sea oil, whatever. Sure, just go Junta. AWACS is probably good. But if he has Muslim and he headlines it first, nothing I can do anyway. Okay, let's try to get Panama. It works. I will probably do the same, which means I will try to keep UN. So I will probably Space Reformer play Liberation, which is now fine. And just play Burst for Ops. Okay, I will not keep the UN. But I will keep the China card, which should be enough. I guess I'm losing AWACS in this scenario. Maybe I don't want... If I cannot hold China and UN anyway, then maybe I don't want to space at all. So I can space Ortega if I draw it. So maybe now the way is to give him Liberation anyway and play Reformer with the UN if he discards AWACS? And if he discards the UN... Then I guess I can give him the Reformer. AWACS makes sense. I'm pretty sure I will be giving him Liberation, so I will just start with that. Looks like realignments for me in Argentina. Sure, let's go for it. Okay, it fortunately worked. Now I guess I will try to coup with how I learned and summit. Maybe in Cameroon. That puts the biggest pressure on him, and it's also like one of the only regions in which I can get more. Keep spaces, that makes sense. Let's start with summit coup. Yeah, my rolls are something else in this game. Okay, Ortega is gone. So now only the lone gunman is a threat. 4, 5, 6, 7. Theoretically I could just keep the UN instead of the China card. I think that's a more reasonable option actually, sure. Because the China card doesn't necessarily save me from the double terrorism discard with Iranian hostage crisis, and UN may just do that if it is not discarded itself, of course. Okay, I still can respond to that. Now I don't mind going to space. Now I think it's actually good to go to space. So maybe he doesn't see my headline if I hit the space roll. Nope. But now when Ortega is gone, I don't really mind not being able to space 2-ups. Yeah, that happens. I will not discard. Even if I held Reformer and used the China card, I still wouldn't want to discard Reformer because I really wanna keep the UN intervention in my hand. Holy Jesus! Okay, I'm afraid it's absolutely over with this hand. It's crazy. Yeah, let's shoot down Cal. Really nothing to be done about this. Oh my god, and he will see this hand. Oh man. GG. Oh, that was a that was a game that I feel was way longer than it should have been. The first half of it was really interesting. I think it involved a lot of decision making, but later on it just felt like waiting for the inevitable. There could have been some plot twists with Ortega and Lone Gunman, but he drew them both anyway, so that wasn't the case anyway. Well, thanks for watching. I'm not sure if this game is enough. I don't think this game is enough for me to beat Ziemowit to the first place in the ITSR, but it's a step, so we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. And see you next time, probably in the next round of the OTSL or other tournaments. Bye.